Alrighty, so let's get right into it. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 credit cards for building credit in 2023. This video is actually based on some research that was gathered and put together by the folks over at NerdWallet, so I just wanted to give credit where credit is due. No pun intended. Now be sure to stick around to the end of the video to see what my top 3 credit boosting tips are, and if you get anything out of today's video, disgust, hatred, fear, lust, please remember to like and subscribe. Let's dive right in. Welcome to the Major Report. So real quick, let's take a look at what a credit builder card actually is. A credit builder card is a credit card that's specifically designed to help people build their credit, either from scratch or getting their credit back on track after some oopsie doopsies. A credit builder card can be extremely useful if you've had a hard time getting approved for cards for various reasons, such as low income, unemployment, poor credit history, low credit scores, or simply having insufficient credit history. Credit builder cards usually have low credit limits and high annual percentage rates, making them relatively low risk for the issuing banks, but be careful because what might be low risk for them is actually maybe high risk for you sometimes. So for example, a late payment on a credit builder card might hurt you much more than a late payment on a standard credit card, particularly because of higher late fees and higher interest rates. The higher interest rates also mean that you'll be paying a little bit more or a lot more in the long run if you aren't paying your cards down quickly. Now, when applying for your credit cards, it's important to do your research to see how likely it'll be for you to get either approved or declined. Every time you apply for a credit card, your credit score will take a little bit of a hit, usually 2 to 3 points. So if you're applying to maybe 10 cards before you get approved, then you've just hurt your credit score by 20 to 30 points right off the bat before you've even used a card at all. Now that is definitely counterproductive, so that's why it's important to apply to cards that are specifically designed for your credit situation. And that's where I come into play. So without further ado, in no particular order, let's take a look at the best credit builder cards of 2023. First up, we have the PETAL 1 No Annual Fee Visa Credit Card. Now, the best feature here is that it does not require a security deposit. The issuer of the PETAL 1 No Annual Fee Visa Card actually does not rely on credit scores to determine your eligibility. Instead, it assesses your creditworthiness based on your income, your expenses, and your savings and your debt. Now, this card earns a relatively decent rate of up to 10% cash back when you use the card to shop with select merchants. And there is no annual fee, no late fees, and no foreign transaction fees. Next up, we have the Discover It Secured Credit Card. What people love most about this card is your ability to upgrade to a regular card. So just like other secured credit cards, the Discover It Secured card requires a cash security deposit. However, unlike most other cards, it also offers rewards, but what really makes it stand out from other competition is its upgrade possibilities. The issuer of this card has a process in place for automatically reviewing accounts for possible transition to an unsecured card. So if you're one of the lucky sons of a gun, daughters of a gun, so if that's you, then that means that you'll get your deposit back after that transition. Next up, we have the Capital One Platinum Secured Credit Card. Kind of a tongue twister. They're all kind of a tongue twister. Now, the best feature on this card is its deposit flexibility. The Capital One Platinum Secured Credit Card requires a security deposit, as all do other secured credit cards. But while most cards require you to make a deposit that's equal to the amount of the line of credit that you're going to be given, this card actually allows some qualifying applicants to get a $200 credit line with a deposit of only $49. Additionally, you can be considered for a higher credit line with no additional deposit in as little as 6 months. Many moons ago, this was actually the first secured credit card that I ever had. And then I messed it up and had to start my journey all over again. But this was also the card that a friend of mine used to rebuild their credit after some IRS whoopsie-doopsies and having to file for bankruptcy. So this card, I think, is really great for a lot of people in a lot of different financial situations. I would highly recommend looking into this card to see if it's right for you. Next, the Blue Cash Everyday Card from American Express. That one was a little bit easier to say. Now, the most awesomest feature about this card is that it even takes foreign credit history into account. So if you're just moving into the States, then this is actually going to be a great option for you. The Blue Cash Everyday Card from American Express pays elevated rewards at US supermarkets, at US gas stations, and on US online retail purchases. The rewards might not be as rich as on the Blue Cash Preferred card, also offered from American Express, but this card does not charge an annual fee either. New cardholders get a decent welcome offer offer and an introductory 0 APR period. Now, this last one was not mentioned on NerdWallet's list, but you know what? I have to mention the Chime Credit Builder credit card because it helped me so much that I'm confident that will also help a lot of other people who, at the very least, were in a similar credit situation that I was. One of the main advantages of the Chime Credit Builder card is that it allows users to build their credit and their savings simultaneously. This is because the user is not actually using credit, but rather building a credit line based off of the amount that they have saved. So the benefit here is that users can avoid taking on unnecessary debt, which can have a negative impact on your credit score. I don't mean that all debt has a negative impact on your score, but taking on unnecessary debt will. The Chime Credit Builder card does not have any annual fees, foreign transaction fees, or over-the-limit fees, which is great for somebody like me. This makes it a great low-cost option for building credit. The only fee that you'll pay is a one-time fee of $9.95 to open the secured line. And if you ask me, then this is a worthwhile investment to building your credit safely. Now, my top 3 credit boosting tips. Number 1, keep your credit utilization below 30%. I know this is hard, but try to get into the habit of not overspending. And I know this is hard, but really just try to get into the habit of not spending money that you don't have. This will become a little bit easier down the road once your score gets a little bit higher and once your credit limits have increased. Number 2, do not close cards that you've paid off, but I would suggest taking them out of your wallet, that way you're not tempted to spend them unnecessarily. However, use them every once in a while for small purchases. Just be sure to pay them off quickly. Number 3, consolidate your debt to make your payments much more manageable, which will reduce the risk of you falling behind. And this also will more than likely reduce your debt, not just make it more manageable. So when you use a debt consolidation company, they reach out to the collectors that you owe, they buy your debt for a lower amount, and the way that they make money is by charging you somewhere in the middle. So let's say you have $10 in debt, they will negotiate it down to $5, and then they'll charge you $7 and, pocket the difference. Now you might be wondering, can you negotiate lower rates with the collectors yourself? Yeah, sure, of course, but let's be honest, will you? Also, when you do that, you're still gonna need the lump sum of money to be able to pay it off in one chunk, as opposed to working with a debt consolidation company that's gonna help you out and allow you to pay that off in smaller, manageable payments. Okay, so the time has come to like and subscribe. If you've gotten any benefit out of this video, or if you've just even been entertained in the slightest, then please be sure to like and subscribe for more content just like this. And be sure to gently boop that like button. Did I already ask you to like? I'm sorry, sometimes I ask for a lot. And leave a comment below. Tell me what you would like to see me talking about in an upcoming video. Thank you so much for your time today. I sincerely appreciate it, and I will see you next time.
And I will see you next time.
For cards, it also offers rewards. The most awesomest feature about this card, thank you so much. That was a big inhale. Bye.